Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Sivir supplementary guide, and today we're going to be talking about building IE on Sivir instead of going for Magnetic Blaster. So the normal Sivir build is basically this, but instead of going for IE, you normally have a Magnetic Blaster over here, like this. So this is the general Sivir build. So basically what we're doing is we're swapping out Blaster and we're going for IE, either here or here. But yeah, so let's explain it. So first up, we're going to start with the Gluttonous Greaves for the AD and the Omni-Vamp. No surprise here. Same goes for Bloodthirster for the high amounts of stats, the AD and the Physical Vamp. And then we go into Quick Blade. So of course Navori is very good on Sivir because she is well, I won't say she's a spell-based champion, but she relies on her spells a lot. Like if you really think about it, her Q does a lot of damage, her W allows her to attack multiple people at the same time, and basically her W is the main draw of Sivir. It's like her identity, like her W. And of course her E is a spell shield, which of course, you know, having that off cooldown is always going to be good. And then of course your next two items is going to be like Mold Reminder for the Armor Pen and the Grievous Wounds, as well as IE of course for the AD injection and the increased crit damage. So your final item is generally going to be a defensive option, which is going to be, Maw a lot of the time for the magic resist and the AD, but you also have a couple of other interesting options. So of course, you do have your GA, you do have your shielding option like Starex or of course Shield Bow, but I think there are two very interesting options on Sivir. So the first one is actually Black Cleaver. So Black Cleaver, other than giving you the good stats of health, AD and ability haste, because Sivir's W ricochet bounces off people multiple times, it can actually stack up Black Cleaver's Sunder passive to shred their armor by a lot. So if you're playing to a very tanky team who has a lot of armor and not a lot of health, by not a lot of health, I mean that if they have a lot of armor compared to health, because if they have a lot of health, you want to go for Bork, but if they have a lot of armor, you want to go for Black Cleaver. So Black Cleaver is going to allow you to shred the armor by 24%, and combined with the extra 33% you're going to get from Mold Reminder, they're going to be really, really squishy after you shred their armor. So the next very interesting option is going to be Serpent's Fang. So Serpent's Fang, as we know, is the anti-shield option. So on Sivir, you can build this as a last item and no earlier. If you're in late game and there's a lot of shielding, you can build this. And I actually try to go for this in this match. I say try to because I was building it halfway and the game ended. But I did try to go for it in this match. You guys will see a little bit later on. But yeah. So for the runes, obviously Lethal Tempo for the extra attack range as well as the attack speed, which we have basically none of in our build except of course Navori to lower our W cooldown, which gives us attack speed. Brutal of course because we auto attack quite a bit, Giant Slayer to counter the tanks, and Alacrity of course as I say because we need attack speed. And of course here we're going to go for Bone Plating just for the extra defensive edge. And for the spells, we're going to go for Flash together with Ghost. Of course, Ghost is really good with Sivir in combination with her ult to just run all over the place. Of course, Exhaust can also be taken if there are multiple enemy assassins. But with all that said, let's take a look at the gameplay. Okay, so let's take a look at the gameplay itself. So of course, as usual at the start, we like to talk a little bit about what kind of support Sivir likes. So Sivir generally likes an Enchanter support. Best to have like a Yuumi or a Lulu or those kind of supports that can heal you and buff you up, because Sivir is that kind of mid to late game hyper carry kind of champion. She kind of is not very good in the early game for a couple of reasons. Firstly, she has really low range. So compared to other ADCs, she has lower range than average. Which obviously makes it hard for her to hit enemies because they can hit her when she can hit them. And other than that, she doesn't do a lot of damage in the early game. However, her strength is, as you can see here, her wave clear is really good. So you can harass enemies a little bit by bouncing your boomerangs off of the minions onto them. But as you can see, look at the Ezreal, he takes a little bit of chip damage. That's only if he stands near the minions. Of course, enemies can stand away from the wave, which is going to mean that you do no damage to them. But it's also going to mean that they give you the push. So it's a little bit of a trade-off for the enemy there. And your Q is really your main form of damage in the early game, which is basically to just toss your Q at them, and if you hit both the forward and the reverse, it does a decent chunk of damage is the word I was looking for. Yeah, it does a decent chunk of damage. Nothing to write home about, but also not like negligible damage. So decent chunk of damage there. In this match, we are with a Morgana. So what Morgana can do is if she manages to catch them out, you can of course combo with your Q and ensure your damage lands. Other than that, I have played Morgana with Sivir a couple of times before, and one of the benefits of playing Morgana with Sivir is double spell shield, right? So with your own spell shield and Morgana's, Black Shield, it's going to be really hard to CC and lock you down. So it's not really that bad. It is pretty decent support champion, to play with. Still would prefer, of course, like a Yuumi or a Lulu or even a Milio at this point, right? Because now Milio is in the game. So yeah. So here we're against an Ezreal and a Janna. So the important thing to note is Ezreal does not have press the attack. Press the attack, Ezreal is one of the strongest early game champions in the game. Thankfully, he doesn't have the rune, he has Conqueror, which is going to mean he's better in the later parts of the game, but in the early game he's a bit weaker, and that is amazing for us because we don't want to be against a strong laner in the early game. That's going to be horrible for us. In fact, we basically have matched his farm to this point, so actually we've done our job very, very well. Right, because we've basically been able to maintain our farm, and obviously we are unlikely to kill him in the early game. And in fact, here they're trying to bag right in front of our faces, so we're gonna have to stop them here. Their minions are alive, so we will lose the trade overall. So here I was really just trying to stop them from backing. I'm not really trying to get into a full-on fight, but it's kind of breaking out into a kind of full-on fight here where we're really heavy trading here. Kayn is now on the way, so we are actually keeping them in the fight. Kayn is trying to get over here. Huge root by the Morgana, 1 HP, we get the kill. Lee Sin now comes in onto me and Morgana. He's really low. Kayn ults him down. Ezreal also really gets rooted by Morgana as well, and I kill him also. Huge roots being landed by the Morgana there to get us 2 kills. And Lee Sin has to run for the heals because he's 1 HP as well. Kayn is going in for the Lee Sin. We're trying to be greedy and get 1 plate here. He doesn't get the Lee Sin, and Ahri is going to get him instead. So Ahri has ult charges here, so we have to really run away because she can use the ult charges to close the gap. So we are going to back here. Huge root on by the Morgana again onto the oncoming Ahri to stop her from catching up to us. And we get 2 huge kills in the laning phase. Now, of course, as I said, it's really rare, to be very honest. I played a lot of Sivir, and it's really rare to actually get kills in the laning phase because, as I said, Sivir is very weak, and the main time you can do that is, of course, when these kind of ganks, 3v3s, 2v3s happen, and it gets messy, and you can bounce off minions and do a lot of damage, things like that. But in general, it's quite difficult. So if you are lucky enough to get kills in lane, you are actually really accelerated compared to what Sivir normally is. Here, they're trying to go on to me, and I very strategically pop my spell shield to block the Ezreal Q, and that Ezreal Q will have popped his W as well. So I actually technically blocked 2 spells with 1 spell shield. So you can see his Q already hurts quite a bit. So that probably blocked almost half of my health worth of damage. And here, I'm just lifestealing off the minions with the Vamp Scepter and with the Gluttonous Grease. I'm taking a little bit of poke from Ezreal and Janna at this point, so definitely need that little bit of sustain. And Ahri is coming down here for a roam, so she doesn't know that we know that, so we're kind of keeping her interested and wasting her time a little bit by kind of engaging in combat with them, but we're kind of under tower, so I don't expect Ahri to be baited for that much longer. She's probably going to be heading back to her lane as she actually is. But here we're going to just push out the wave using our wave clear. And Ezreal is trying to greed for the toolkit, which he does manage to get, but he takes a lot of damage in exchange for the toolkit, which, as I say in a lot of my videos, the toolkit is generally not worth it unless you can get it uncontested. Here Ezreal gets caught, and Janna actually has the ult. He is actually AFK farming, and Janna actually dies for his sins. Ezreal takes a bunch of damage and only survives because Janna was paying attention and because he got the fruit. But of course, we still got the kill on Janna, because she had to basically sacrifice her life to save his life. Now Ezreal is trying to go for the Morgana, but doesn't quite get it. Now here I'm actually waiting for my Q cooldown, but Morgana interrupts his recall with the W, so I'm not able to get the Q cooldown eventually. So unfortunately, we don't get a kill on him, but we are able to push in the wave and deny him minions because he is definitely going to have to reset. Here I see the plate's about to die, so I actually walk forward there and cancel my back to get the plate, which actually ruins my tempo because this means that I can't really contest the dragon with my Kayn because I have to really reset here. I'm running out of mana. I don't have mana to cast my important abilities, but I'm able to back and get Bloodthirster as well as a longsword. The trade-off is that my team loses the dragon pretty handily, honestly, but thankfully no one dies at the dragon pit, so it's still kind of fine. A mini fight is kind of looking to break out at the dragon area here because Swain is fishing for a pick, and Ezreal and Janna are still sticking around. Now here I decide to basically take advantage of the fact that my team is zoning off my enemy laners, and I'm instead just going to shove in the wave to try to deny them some farm. a fight does indeed start to break out. So I'm making my way over to the fight. It's not looking very good for my team, so I'm a little bit hesitant to overcommit onto the fight. Ahri overcommits onto the fight herself and gets rooted, dies again. Huge root by Morgana once again. I have my ult popped. I have my spell shield ready to block the Janna tornado, which I do. And I actually almost die here, but Janna doesn't have the damage to finish me off. So me and Morgana both survive on 1 HP and I get 2 more kills. Now I'm 5-0, and at this point I'm 2k gold up on the Ezreal, which is, again, Sivir is not very strong in lane. So like, to be 5 kills in like 6 or like 7 minutes is literally insane. Like, I am so fed right now as a Sivir, I cannot even believe it. And yes, this kind of games do come around from time to time where you do get very fed on Sivir early, and that's kind of when you can almost kind of run over games. Because don't forget that Sivir, she's meant to be weak, but if she's strong, she can just pop her out, pop her growth, and run you down, and you can't escape because she has so much movement speed, you know, that you can't really do anything about it. So here, we have to be very cautious. We can see Lee Sin. We spotted Ahri roaming down from mid, although we can't really see exactly where she is right now. But we want to be a bit cautious. Now we see Lee Sin walk away, and we still don't quite know where Ahri is. But here the bot lane is missing, so here I'm trying to commit onto going for first tower. I pop the spell shield. Lee Sin comes in. Thankfully he Qs the minion instead of me, so I'm actually fine. The tower is really low, but we don't want to overcommit onto it because we could be in trouble if we do that. So we're gonna start running away, and we are able to escape pretty scot-free. So here again, we really want to get that tower because that's going to unlock us rotating around the map to other lanes instead of having to, you know, bother with this tier 1 tower. So we're quickly clearing the wave, and again, we're trying to go for the tower, but they clear the wave as well, so that's not going to happen. A little bit annoying to say the least. But Morgana picks up the fruit to stay around longer. They pop the mimics onto our tower, which does do a decent chunk of damage. But here, once again, I'm just going to shove in the wave and hopefully try to get the tower. I chunk out the Ezreal a little bit as well with my Q. Lee Sin's coming in for a gank together with Ahri. I spell shield, and unfortunately, I'm able to spell shield it, but just Lee Sin just one-shots me under the tower. So, I mean, honestly, not a lot I could do about that, aside from maybe dodging his actual Q. But yeah, he just one-shots me under the tower. Yeah, so that's kind of ugly. He one-shots Kayn under the tower as well. And the Swain is now just left hunting by himself, and I don't think Swain really wins this one. He's still chasing though, looking for Lee Sin. Lee Sin is kind of outplaying him here. He gets the red buff, goes over the wall, and now is going back onto him. Here I'm about to get Navori, so I'm waiting a couple seconds. I get Navori, and Swain actually survives for a long time. Morgana is now has joined the party, roots the Ahri. I'm popping the Ghost, I'm popping the ult, I'm running into the fight, finishing off the Lee Sin. I get the 6 jungle shutdown, flash over, spell shield the Ahri, charm. And we pick up the kill onto the Ahri as well, giving us the double. So now we're at 7-1, like 9k gold in the pocket, really, really good. Now Ezreal for some reason shifts in on me, and I have a full stack lethal tempo. I'm gonna kill him. There he goes. And Janna also in trouble. 1 HP, got him. Yone got him, I guess. Here we get the tower. Now Garen's the next challenger. He's about to kill me with the ulti, so I'm gonna spell shield the ulti, and I survive. So Garen just got outplayed right there. Hardcore. Like, one of the things about Garen is it's very predictable, right? He's just gonna spin on you. When you get low enough, he's gonna ult you. So when I get to that kind of health threshold that I know he's gonna ult me, I pop my spell shield. He ults into my spell shield, and I survive. I mean, it's kind of like there's no way he can kill me, right? If he doesn't ult me, I'm just gonna walk away. If he ults me, I'm gonna spell shield it. So there's nothing he can do. I survive. You know, sometimes there are those Sivir situations where you can completely outplay the enemy and there's nothing they can do about it. He couldn't really have played that much better. I guess he could have played it better if he just didn't ult. But, you know, either way he can't kill me. So here the next dragon is up. Obviously it's like a pretty big fight. I'm a little bit tentative again because, again, I'm a hyper carry with no mobility and I don't have my summoner spells. I'm being very, very careful here to not overcommit onto any fight. Ahri's coming on the flank. I, you know, chuck my Q to chunk her a little bit. But again, I'm being very, very careful not to get caught out because I'm 8-1-2. I'm a lot of my team's damage, and if I just die and get one shot, it's not gonna be good. So now we're coming around the other side. Yone is kind of committing in. I take a lot of poke from a lot of sources, but here you can see I'm finding opportunity to free hit. No one is hitting me. I'm just free hitting on Lee Sin. I get the kill on him. I'm free hitting on Ezreal. I'm not really free hitting because he's hitting me as well. But I of course win the auto tech battle against Ezreal because I'm 10-1. He's 2-5. No real challenge here. I barely survived though. So if he was any more fed, I definitely wouldn't have survived. Now I'm really close to getting my mole reminder, so I'm just going to quickly pick up the wolves to get my mole reminder. And this is the game. I decided to pick up Mole Reminder early because number 1, it's going to help me shred the Garen. Number 2, Janna has a lot of healing with her ulti and with her Harmonic Echo, so getting the Mole Reminder early is going to help me to reduce the healing from her. And it's just a good buy overall. So, yeah. Now I'm going to head back out. You can see that you basically instantly one-shot AoE camps like the Wolves or the Raptors because your ricochets are going to bounce all over the place and it's going to kill them instantly. Now, Crutch to a little bit of a lesser extent, but still pretty good. And yeah, now with that we can actually get IE. Obviously IE is going to give us a lot of damage. Here I'm going to take the red buff because Kayn is on the completely opposite side of the map and I'm not going to wait for him for like 5 minutes to get the red buff. Here Janna is kind of going onto Morgana for some reason, so I'm just, you know, hitting her a little bit. Nothing too much really happening here. We go to mid lane to clear out the wave. And honestly at this point, kind of just waiting for the next objective or waiting for a fight to break out. Speaking of fight, Swain gets caught out a little bit. Pops is out for no reason. Morgana gets killed by Lee Sin. Lee Sin just jumps into her for some reason and Morgana is able to root him down and kill him, but Morgana dies to an Ezreal ult. So here I'm a little bit careful not to overcommit here, but Ahri is really low. Janna ult kind of denies me the kill. For some reason, Garen's ulting me on full health. I eventually get the kill on Ahri, but unfortunately, Garen does get the shutdown on me. Although, I guess fortunately, Garen is really not a very important champion, right? He's not very far ahead. Yone is able to get inhibitor. And I'm happy that Lee Sin, Ahri, or Ezreal didn't get the kill because they would have been a bigger problem, especially Lee Sin, who's very fed right now, didn't get the kill. So here at this point, I'm getting the stasis. I'm realizing that QSS is not going to be very helpful. It's really only going to be helpful against like Ahri Charm, or maybe if I can time it right, Lee Sin kick. But something like stasis can counter like Garen's ult, Lee Sin's engage, Ahri's engage, that kind of deal. So I think stasis is a little bit better in this match, which is normally not the case because normally QSS is the superior option, but in this match I think stasis is actually better, so that's exactly what I'm going for. Now on my way to join my team, I'm just going to one-shot the Wolves, because obviously as I said, Wolves very easy to kill, it's an AoE camp. And here Morgana is heavy committing onto the Ezreal. Ezreal can't really run away, she's getting slowed down with the Rylai's, gets stunned, gets rooted, everything, and he just dies. We're at 12, 2, and 3 at the moment with 13k gold. Lee Sin and Yone are close behind those, so it's not like I'm so far ahead, but I'm definitely in a very nice spot. I'm going to head down here to pick up the minions. For some reason, Swain is following me. Tries to take the minions as well. Then decides to walk away. I'm going to get the next wave as well. And of course, we're trying to get towards IE as quickly as we can. Lee Sin goes in on me, I spell shield his Q, and I'm in an auto attack battle against him. He Qs me again, I flash away for the distance, I get the kill on him, I get the ult, the reset, and unfortunately I spot Ahri coming down here. So with the ult reset, I'm trying to run away, I use my spell shield to block her W, and I'm actually running away here. I'm actually getting out. So here Morgana shields me, I'm actually able to run all the way over here, but I get cut off by Janna and Ezreal. I spell shield Janna's tornado to not get CC'd, but Ezreal hops the wall and eventually does kill me. Morgana dies as well, but it was nearly a great escape, nearly. Like, we killed the Lee Sin one-on-one, we escaped the Ahri, but unfortunately Janna and Ezreal came over, and that was it for us at that point. Now, Swain is not going in on Ezreal, it's not gonna work out. Swain is now 1 HP, he's gonna die to Ezreal, there he goes. And only Kayn is left alive. Unfortunately now. Enemy team is on Mountain Soul Point, and if they get this Infernal Drake, they will get the soul. Now let's take a look at what our Kayn does. He's hiding in the bush, trying to go in on maybe Ezreal, maybe Janna. He's going for the low HP Janna, misses everything so far, gets the ult in, stays inside for very long, stasis, and he's now stuck in the middle of 4 people, and he is going down. There he goes. That was very ugly. I'm not sure what I just witnessed there, but now the rest of us have respawned with the exception of Swain, who died of course a little bit later. Enemy team obviously gets the soul, like no surprise there. Yone might be trying to steal the buff, but I thankfully am able to get it. I'm gonna get the wolves as well. I'm sorry, the raptors as well, and then onto the mid wave, and then onto the wolves. You guys know the ADC life, it's just farming. We're trying to get to IE as quickly as we can. We're taking every bit of farm we can find on the map to try to get that IE spike, which is going to put us to 100% crit, and of course give us an extra crit damage. So here we're actually very close to IE, but Swing takes both of the cannons. I'm not able to get IE, unfortunately. I'm trying to look for some farm here. Lee Sin's really low, but I know I probably can't kill him. I hit a Q on him, but unless like I run him down with my ult and my ghost, which is very dangerous because his team is nearby, I'm not gonna get him. So, you know, just Q him just to make him a little bit scared. But nah, I'm not gonna get him. Now here we spot Janna. Again, we're not gonna get her, but we're just kind of just poking her a little bit. Next wave is kind of coming in. Morgana's taking a bunch of damage. I have enough for IE here, so I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna get IE. You know, I'm at not full build, but 4 full crit items, and I'm ready to, you know, do some damage. So here, unfortunately, the first thing I do is get hit by an Ezreal ult. But here is where Sivir shines. You know, we're you know, looking for those mid-late game team fights. We're in kind of late game already, to be honest. We're looking for those late game team fights where Sivir is gonna carry 1v5, not 1v5, but you know, your teammates are gonna block damage for you. You're gonna be the one doing the damage in the backline. Spell shield onto the Janna Tornado again, and Baron is up. Eller is coming up in 30 seconds, and there's definitely gonna be a fight here. You guys know Baron is up, Eller is up. There's definitely gonna be a fight. Or Elder's not up, but Elder's about to be up. There's definitely going to be a fight at Elder. Garen is going in. The fight's already breaking out. So here we pop the ult, we pop the ghost. We're running people down. Huge ult by the Yone. You know, we're bouncing our stuff all over. We're going to flash forward, get the kill onto the Janna and onto the Ahri triple for me. Unfortunately, Lee Sin finishes me off. And I'm not able to get the kill onto him. Kane, what are you doing? I don't know. This Kane is not the best player. Kane's kind of trolling. Like, you could have just walked away, but no. You ran all the way into the enemy base, had your GA popped, and then died afterwards anyway. And what's that build, by the way? Black Cleaver into Edge of Night into GA. Like, you do no damage with that build. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Kane. We're here to talk about us. Yone, though, with a pretty good play. He goes for the inhibitor, gets the inhibitor, and applies pressure onto the opposite side of the Elder Dragon. Now he's taking the Hex Gate down to the Elder Dragon to ensure the enemy team is not doing it, which is also a very good play. And, alright, he's not ensuring that he's not doing it. He's taking their blue buff. Lee Sin hops in, Yone dashes out, and we're gonna try to run to the Elder Dragon. Now we have an issue. Our jungler is dead, and we're in a 4v5 without our jungler. So what can we do here? We can't get the Elder Dragon. We can only stop the enemy team from getting the Elder Dragon. Because, of course, we have no smite. They do. So here, I'm telling my team to play for the fight. I'm writing in chat to play for the fight. Don't play for the Elder. Here, I'm popping my ult. I'm running in. I'm hitting whoever I can, which in this case is the Janna. I get the ult reset. You know, I'm going to chase down whoever I can, giving the movement speed to my team as well. Lee Sin dies as well. There goes their smite. Ezreal now in trouble. I'm going to pop the spell shield. You can see how much damage I really do here. I pop the stasis just in case his last auto kills me or something like that. And at this point, everyone's dead except Garen. Now, all the King has to do here is stop the Garen from backing, and it's a free win, right? We can push down mid, we can end the game. So I'm thinking, alright, Kane's just going to chase the Garen and prevent him from backing. But no! He doesn't chase down the Garen, and Garen is actually going to back and try to stop us from ending. So this Kane is hardcore trolling the whole game. Anyway, here we're going to get the tower. For some reason, 2 members on my team are trying to get the Elder Dragon, and Kane didn't stop Garen from backing. But anyways, despite all this trolling from all of my teammates, we're gonna finally hit the Nexus and finally win the game. So anyways, guys, a little bit agitated there at the end, but there you have it. There is the dub. I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.